Hey everybody, this is Chef Dan, the Master Instructor for School Italiana Pizzaioli and the Chef Instructor here at the North American Pizza and Culinary Academy, here to show you how to make grissini, or otherwise known as breadsticks. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a dough using 00 Cinque Stagioni Pizza Napolitana flour. It's a lower hydration at 540 grams, about a 54%. We're going to add some malt, some instant dry yeast, salt, and oil. So first things first, I'm going to add about 90% of my water into the mixer. Reserve that last little bit for later. I'm using malt. You can use sugar. I like a diastatic malt or a regular malt for the flavor and for what it does to the dough. So I'm going to add that in because that's also going to feed our yeast. Okay. Next, we're going with a whopping 20 grams of instant dry yeast from La Sof. Okay. So now I'm going to get a whisk. I just want to make sure that yeast gets hydrated because the yeast doesn't work very well if it doesn't get awakened. Okay, and now it's got some sugar to feed on, so it's going to be a little more active. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually turn on my mixer. I'm going to start a low speed. I'm going to go forward, and then I'm going to start adding my flour nice and easy. So we're going to let this mix for about 3 to 4 minutes on speed 1. Okay. Now realize this is a low hydration mix, so it's going to seem a little bit drier, but with that 00 flour, it needs more time to absorb. So don't freak out if it doesn't look like it's correct right off the bat. I just turned it up a little bit. We're still on the speed 1 range. But if you come over here, you can see that our dough is getting to a bit of a shaggy stage. As the dough starts to come together, be patient. That's the biggest thing about making dough, is be patient. Everyone that mixes dough and they do it in 5 minutes and it doesn't look right, then they start messing with it, adding water, adding flour, and then by the time the dough is actually ready, it's not correct. So, as you can see, this is coming together quite nicely. All the dry flour is starting to hydrate. We're not ready quite yet. All right, well, if you come closer, we'll take a look. We can see that all of our oil is just about absorbed. Okay, I don't really see any wet spots. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop our mixer. I'm going to open it up. Okay. Take my dough out. It's a little bit rough, but we're going to do a couple stretch and folds. We're going to cover it up and we're going to let it rest for about 15 minutes. So our dough has been resting for about 15 minutes now. We're going to set up our pan. So I got a nice flat pan. I'm going to put just a little bit of oil on it. Okay. And really, this is more so that paper sticks and doesn't curl up on us too much. So I take this. All right. Maybe put a little bit. Just for better browning. Whoop. All right, so now that our pan's ready, I'm going to move that to the side. And look at our dough ball, which is already increased in volume. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this dough ball and I'm going to just cut it into 4. Okay, roughly. Doesn't have to be perfect. Cover these back up. So now I'm going to take this, try to square it out a little bit on the one end. Press. Now, take a wooden pin. We're going to roll this out. Now, I'm not adding flour. I want to make sure we get this fairly thin, about 1/4 to 1/8 of an inch. Okay. But see how I'm trying to keep it square so that we get nice, even breadsticks. So we have our grissini. They're in a nice square-ish. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to even this out. Okay, we can use that later. But now it takes patience and time, and I am just going to start cutting straight breadsticks. I'm just going to lay them on there. Try to keep them all even. It'll make them bake evenly. They'll look the same. I'm going to space them a little bit, but I think I can fit them closer together. I just don't want them to bake too close because they are going to rise, and then when they bake, they puff, and we don't want them to stick together. So try not to stretch them out too much, but I want them to just fit right there on the sheet tray. I could probably actually fit one more over here. So now here's another thing you can do. If you want to be kind of a little bit more, you take them, take it, and you twist them. A little twist. Makes them look a little bit different. So I'm going to take this, a little twist. Okay, so we can have some twists. This up, and I got one more cool thing to show once we get all these done. All right, so now we've got them laid out on the sheet. We're going to cover them lightly with a piece of plastic. Okay, and then I'm going to slide it onto the cart, and I'm going to make another one. But we don't want to get these to get its skin on them. So just gonna leave that. Okay. Now we're just gonna make some more grissini, and I'm gonna use a little bit of a pizza seasoning from our friends over at Pastorelli. This is their savory roasted garlic and Romano. So roll these out. I'm actually going to roll them a little bit shorter because I've noticed when I pick up the grissini, they stretch a little bit too much, and then they don't fit quite on the pan. So roll this out. Okay. Just like that. This edge is a little thick. Okay. This one looking beautiful. This way it really sticks into the dough. Okay. Now, maybe a little more on the edge here. Good coverage. From our friends over at Pastorelli. I'll close that up. Back at it. Now the cool thing is doing it this way is when you do that twist, it becomes way more pronounced. So see, one side without, twist, twist, twist. Oh, untwist. So we'll put one, stick it down, and press it down. Get that to stay. Okay. Now, the way that I'm cutting this is I'm kind of putting two hands against each other. So I'm pushing this way with my right hand and I'm pushing right with my left so that I keep my hand very stable so that I have complete control and it doesn't go one way or the other. Okay, and then you have nice even cuts. So now what you're going to want to do is once these are done being cut and put on the pans, you're going to let them proof until they about double in size, and then we're going to go into the oven. All right, so we've let our grissini rest and rise. Okay, so you can see they've puffed up a little bit. Now we're going to go into a 350-degree oven. We're using an electric deck here. I've got 60% on top and 40% on bottom. Okay, this is our baking with steam injection, but we're not going to use that. So yeah, if you look, they've risen a little bit. They got a little puff to them. So now we're going to take these. We're going to go in, get the other tray. Push them all the way to the back. And now these are going to bake for 20 minutes with the vent closed. And then for the last 10 minutes, I'm going to open the vent. All right, everybody. Our breadsticks or grissini are ready. So if you come over here, you can see those nice ones where we put the little twist on them. Look at how great that looks. You know, we got those. We got the sesame ones. Take them. They're crunchy. They're perfect. So, if you want to make grissini like this, follow the recipe, or if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us here at the North American Pizza and Culinary Academy. I'm Master Instructor Danny, and I will see you later.